of my life, being burned by hair straighteners.
Really?
Tips of my ears, particularly scarred from burning them with hair straighteners. Happens almost weekly for me. But imagine just how painful it would be for a child.
Yes, according to new figures, 1 in 4 parents who own the electrical hair tool say they have left one unattended, and hair straighteners are to blame for 5% of serious burns in children. Well, today's National Burns Awareness Day, and joining us in the studio is Jorge Leon-Villapalos. He's a plastic surgeon and paediatrician at Chelsea and Westminster Hospital. Thank you very much for being with us. This is a frightening statistic, isn't it? Why is it happening?
Well, it is happening mainly because people are unaware of the dangers of a domestic tool that can actually heat up to extremely high temperatures, up to 250 degrees, and that may take up to 10 minutes to actually cool down. Children have got an inquisitive nature, may be unaware of the dangers of this type of tools in the house, and they're curious. These tools very occasionally basically are designed in very bright colors. Children reach up in their hands, can actually trample into them or can fall into them, just causing very deep injuries.
And, you know, as you said, they're into everything, and these hair straighteners take a while to cool down, so even if parents unplug them, you know, they're still hot for a good 10-15 minutes afterwards. But what are the other big risks that parents should be aware of? Because, you know, traditionally it used to be always have a guard around the fire, keep them away from the hot hob, things like that.
Well, the Children Burns Trust have released, coincidental with the National Awareness Day, just a few recommendations that stand very much the test of time. These are, first of all, just make sure that you disconnect the device and you're aware what these devices are so that your child basically does not touch them. But obviously, very common sense measures like having some heat-resistant pouches and making sure that somehow we do not get our children in contact with them and unattended would be basically a great advantage to avoid these injuries.
I know one thing I've always been worried about with kids is the kettle and the lead on the kettle, that they might grab onto the work surface and pull the kettle over them, because scalding is a real problem, isn't it?
Precisely. I mean, even though obviously with the National Awareness Day on electrical injuries, we are all very much trying to point at the dangers of hair straighteners, we shouldn't forget that the vast majority of burn injuries in children up to 55 are still scalding injuries with hot water. Contact basically is with very hot water in the bathroom, or contact basically is with surfaces in the kitchen or the parts of the...
Prevention is key, but accidents are called accidents because, you know, they do happen, you don't plan them. Quick bit of advice for any parent whose child is burned by something like hair straighteners. What should they do immediately to limit the damage?
Well, stop the burning process, disconnect basically is the device from the electrics, cool the burn wound with water for up to 20 minutes, but it can be beneficial up to 3 hours. Suddenly call for help and cover the burned wound with something very automatic like cling film. This will help.
Okay, great. Jorge Leon-Villapalos, thank you very much for speaking to us here on Sunrise this morning.
Thank you.
Plenty more still to come here on Sunrise this morning.